support level, which is where? Around 8450, right? You got 8450, and you have double bottom at 8445. Perfect. See how you know that wide range bar is a signal, it's a heads up. I would always tell everybody, I said, those wide range bars, the way the market tells us, the way the market talks us. Just look lower. You will have some support today, 8450. Well, we don't know yet. We don't know yet. I mean, I honestly don't know. But it is, the 618 is going below it. That you know. How it reacts at 8450, we have to see. You probably, it's a potential scalp opportunity. But other than that, it should, it can't even go lower than that. But I like the way you see that now. You see that wide range, you can identify it.
Just on that chart.
Yeah.
If you get further back, I think it's October 4th low, and join all the lows up.
October 4th low?
Yeah.
You going back to last year?
Yeah. You join the low from October, that one there. Then do the one that July 12th. Would that be a long it's that line again?
Yeah.
That would be something like two factors.
That would be a big support level right there. You have, when you're scrolling in, right to this level in September, but you didn't quite tag it. Now you're in October. Notice the time difference there.
So you like the times to be the same?
You want the times to be symmetrical in time. Those are going to be your best one. Not to say that this won't hold that trend line for a little while, but it's minor. It's not major. It can break. Here's, look at this one. Now, is this symmetrical in time?
Yeah.
Let's get rid of this line pretty quick. My only concern sometimes is that the line is not steep. As long as the line is not steep, it usually always, really works very, very well. But here, this would be a big, big support level as well for Caterpillar. Let me just see what that weekly, let's look at the weekly chart. Yeah, that's a big level because look at this on weekly. We have a ton of support right here. Prior base. And even in the monthly level.
There's also a gap in the
from one level on one three to one time.
It's going to be interesting right now. We'll test this
If you're a scout,
$1
so the most important thing to do is identify a weak gap or strong gap. Weak gap means you've been down already. Weak gap down. Then that's support level. Sometimes it's a 3 pounds. Sometimes it's like 1 pound. Yeah. Honestly.
Every day without fail.
The dollar is actually our front trade. Sometimes it feels like it's incredible. That's it. But doing all now, you're going to sell that pipe or that second hand. Yeah, once I'm in the money, I'm the most patient person in the world. If I get down, you're going to understand what you're doing. That's what I think. That's what I think. Or people just waking up. Yeah, is that for real? Okay. So that would be
Talk about one-on-one conferences every day, but they're going to go around and spend an hour.
Planning on giving a little more intensive stuff like that. So I'm not exactly sure when, but I know you like, okay.
All right, guys. I want to kind of get started just a little bit before we go on the chat, so we can go over a couple of things. We have about 12 minutes until the market opens. A couple of things I want to do with you guys today. Number one, each row is going to be a group. So we got group 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What I want from you guys over the course of the day, and you can do this, you know, at lunchtime or any quiet time or after the market closes, whatever you guys want. Well, preferably before the market closes, because at the end of the day I want to go over it. But I want you guys to find us and the group being us a swing trade, all right? And we're going to have a winning group and we're going to all vote, all right? So I want basically a swing trade from every group, collective minds, and we'll go through maybe the last 15 minutes of the day or, you know, something like that. And then we'll vote on the best one. And we're going to see which group can come up with the best one using the methodology. And then if it's a good enough one and Nick and I are okay with it, we're going to throw in the hot shots and alerts tonight and see what we can do. In addition, that winning group will get, each one of you guys will get a free month of the research center just credited on. So make it a little fun, have some fun with it. We'll see how it goes. In addition, as we do the chat today, I want you guys to be participants, you know. Unfortunately, we don't have microphones for everyone to be on the chat, but as Nick and I read out certain questions, like let's say someone in the chat says, you know, where is this level a good level? I want to read out that question, and then I want you guys to give me a response, all right? And in essence, you guys are probably the most elite group and the money stocks at this point. So, in my opinion, you should be able to handle most of the questions. And Nick and I will be going through it as well and kind of giving it a sense. But I really want you guys to start utilizing what you're learning. You know, because I think that's how you gain confidence. When you start, you know, looking at it and giving answers, and then Nick and I are like, yeah, that's the good level, that's the level. You guys will get, you know, that confidence where now in your personal trading, you'll start to just make those trades without even thinking about it, all right? So this way we'll kind of go through it and get you guys kind of lift off as if you're flying a plane. We can take off now. And it should be fun. I think it should be a fun time today. So we'll do that for the first hour, hour and a half, and then we'll go into our teaching around the slow times. And hopefully with the markets knowing what they're doing, it should be maybe a little bit of volatility here. What do we have moving today before we get started? Not much, not much. I saw VTH, right? VTH, what did you have on that one? So this first,
23, 23.30.
50 range. So 20, VTH is a little bit, I think it's trading around 25 now. There's a little bit of support around the 23, 30-ish area. And then I think Nick had possibly as low as 15 eventually, right?
Well, yeah. Anybody that trades gaps, as I do every day, what you want to do is go to your bigger time frame, and we'll go over this tomorrow and the next day. If you go to your weekly chart, take this pivot low from 2011 all the way to the most recent pivot high from August 2012. And now look at these lines right here. You'll see. And now I'm just going to fast forward into the 10-minute time frame. This is real time. And look where it bounced today. Right down here. So that's how you trade the morning gaps. Now, depending on how the pattern shapes out, if it gives you a bearish basing pattern, it can go lower. Now you always want to check the gap and make sure it's a strong gap or a weak gap. This is what we call a weak gap because on the daily chart, it has already been flushed lower. So a lot of times what the market makers do is flush it again, and then the support level, they'll start to buy it up on the cheap. Okay? Everybody understand that? Any questions?
Well,
That,
I want to go over something here.
yes, we'll so review of everything. We're going to reviews. We'll do strong and weak gaps review. We'll do the. Jim wanted to do the webinar, the In the Money Stocks methodology webinar, trend lines. So make a list tonight of anything you want to go over. Because tomorrow we're going to do a forecast. We're going to forecast 2013, all of us, and you guys are going to make your own forecast. And then I'll go and give you the forecast afterwards, and we'll see how close we got. But after today, you probably have a good idea. Once your forecast will come out, and we'll find this.
Can I show you one level, Nick?
We'll go over everything else. Yeah.
FTNT.
What's this?
Oh, the FTNT, like, might be showing the wicket for 2310.
Yeah, this is another one here. FTNT was another gap down today. You'll see this was also a weak gap because it's been down multiple days. You'll see our price on a daily has been down multiple days. So you go, you put a fib level from the low to the high, and you scroll back into real time today. The next level on this would be down here. So it's bouncing at 2350 a little bit, but that would be your next level, and then after that, it's all the way down to 22. I ultimately believe that the 22 level is possible. Not sure it is today, but it is possible because this thing is a little bit on the thinner side. Some days it doesn't trade 1 million shares. Stocks that don't trade 1 million have a tendency to go lower than you think they can. Stocks that trade over 1 million usually stop right there because the institutions are involved. When the institutions are not involved, the institutions that are involved will take them lower because you just don't have enough participation. So I always recommend trading high volume stocks. That's the key. Low volume stocks, very, very tough. They'll overshoot. They'll go lower than you think they will. They'll go higher than you think they will. Because it doesn't take more than a couple of institutions with backing to move those stocks. Okay? When everybody's in the game, everybody obeys the levels.
Welcome to the webinar. Please stand by.
Doyle, go ahead, buddy.
I was going to show you something on the screen.
You want me to come over there? Okay.
Alrighty, guys. So as we get started here today, let's look at a couple stocks for setups early on. Number one, what do you guys think for Apple? Where would be the first level? If Apple flushes a little bit, or where's the trading currently? You know, are we looking at its support level? What are we thinking here?
670 gap fill?
Yep, I see a 670 gap fill on Apple, correct? Now it's trading right there. So my first instinct is it's trading right there. What if it flushes on the first couple of minutes? Do we want to step up? So that makes me a little nervous. It could be a great level. That first few minutes of the day is always a little risky to trade. So you have a couple options, as we always say. You can avoid, because it's, again, the first couple of minutes of the day. Or what you can do is you can buy a smaller position if you think that level's good. So maybe I normally buy 1,000 shares of Apple, maybe I do 300. This way, if it does flush $2 or $2, you know, it's not the end of the world compared to what I'm usually, you know, looking for. And if I get a couple dollar bounce, maybe it's great. We obviously see Apple from yesterday is oversold, you know, from the late day session. Doesn't mean it can't go lower, but it definitely is a little bit under the oversold levels. Okay, so Apple, obviously, I agree. What's your next level on Apple? Just let's say it flushes sharply. Where are we looking?
660.80.
We have 666 for the minor level. Give a little pivot from, I guess it's on the 12th, correct? To that day, actually. And then the following one would be kind of those pivot lows right after 657, 658 right there. Yeah, that 657, 658 would be a sweet level. As a scalp trade, if it flushes by some chance all the way into that, like we'd have to be down about 15 bucks today. So if it did, that would be a nice level. I would absolutely be looking to pick up some shares there. Right. All right, so that one's good. We have about 3 minutes remaining. BTH again is trading around 125 level.
Appreciate it.
So that's again 23.30-ish. If it flush, might be a little bit of a level. Remember, there's news there, so just be a little careful if you decide to take that one. Okay. Yep, correct, guys. Those of you in the chat, good job on those levels as well. All right, let's see. We have Apple down ticking a little bit here, 669 and change now, so it's even a little bit below that gap fill. What else? Take a look at. Let's see what Google's doing here. Google's down about $1, a little less than $1. So not much doing there. Again, Google's been probably one of the stronger stocks, but it had a nice top and tail yesterday. That's something to keep an eye on. In terms of top and tails, if you didn't get in a short trade, and it does 50% retrace today, it's going to be there with a pretty tight stop, which is nice. All right. JP Morgan. Looks like JPM is trading down decently. JPM daily still has that kind of choppy, bullish consolidation going on. We'd love to see that just, you know, if we could just flush down and make a kind of a sharp move down. You have 20 MA on the daily around the 39.40, 39.50 level, but at least you could possibly negate that bullish consolidation when you flush straight down. Okay. What's the intraday level on JPM? Anyone? We have about 2 minutes to go before we open.
39.70.
Yeah, I would say 39, like 60, 62. Yeah, right in there. There's a gap fill and a pivot low there. It looks like a gap that can fill, but it's right in that range. I agree. So there's actually some decent amounts. So we understood down $1 on JPM if they really get there. So you're currently sitting at a little bit, well, you were sitting at into yesterday's close, a little bit of support, but that obviously is going to get flushed on a gap down today, with JPM down to about 40.11 level. But yeah, I love it. Write it down when you're watching this, guys. If by chance you flush, assuming you flush correctly into that level, you should get a little bit of a bounce there on JPM. Good. Excellent. Goldman Sachs trading down about, it's not really that much, actually 50 cents or so, 50 cent drop on Goldman. Again, a lot of these stocks, they got crushed so much yesterday. The question is, are they going to flush a little bit and then get a bounce? And they may. But again, you have to trust the levels. You know, we don't want to just say, oh, it's oversold, it's overbought. We want to see where it comes into. Does it fit the PPT? And then if it does, we're at it. Futures continue to be down slightly here on the day, down 2.5 points. And it's not a big drop by any stretch. Here we go, guys. And Spider's only down